This world is so weird, you know we had to do a part 2. In part 1 of this little series, we talked about some really weird stuff. A lot of you were like, wowie wow, Matt, I bet you can't tell us any more facts that are weirder. Well, you're about to find out that yes, I can. These are facts that you did not want to know, but you're here, so you're about to. Here are 10 disturbing facts you didn't want to know, part 2. Number 10 is Odiedon. Just because something is on your plate doesn't mean that it's going to sit still while you consume it. Also known as dancing squid rice bowl, Odiedon is a Japanese dish that's consumed while it's still moving. Okay, go. It consists of very fresh squid sitting on top of either rice or noodles, with salmon eggs and other toppings as well as seasonings. When soy sauce is poured on top of the dish, the sodium in it causes the muscles in the squid to react, firing in a way that makes it seem like the animal is alive and flailing or dancing. Let's keep going. In fact, the reaction can be so strong that often the squid escapes, smacking the bowl so hard that it falls right off. On occasion, the squid can suddenly spring right off the table. Yeah, good luck eating raw seafood off the floor. Although, really, would that be that much nastier than just eating this off the plate? Number 9 is black ivory coffee. One of the world's most expensive coffees is often avoided not just for its price tag, but for how it's made. Or more specifically, how the beans used to make it are processed. Produced by the Black Ivory Coffee Company Limited in northern Thailand, black ivory coffee is a delicacy enjoyed by those with means. But even those who can afford it may want to think twice about buying a cup, because black ivory coffee is made from Arabica coffee beans that are consumed by elephants, digested and deposited with their waste. Every bean has traveled through the elephant, altered by the animal's digestive enzymes, and pooped out. With less proteins, the coffee is said to be very smooth and also tastes less bitter than regular coffee, but you know, it's still poop beans. Think about that next time you have your dirty mud water in the morning. Number 8 is that cockroaches live past decapitation. Cockroaches are some pretty tough critters, so tough in fact that they can, quite literally, lose their head and keep on ticking, so to speak. Believe it or not, these insects can survive a long time after being decapitated. Unlike human beings, cockroaches don't need their mouths, or heads for that matter, to breathe, instead using tiny holes in each body segment, none of which require a brain to control them. Roaches have an open circulatory system. They don't have a network of veins, blood vessels, or for that matter, blood pressure like we do. So blood loss from losing their heads won't kill them either. What eventually kills the headless insect is actually starvation, as they have no way of consuming food, but that can actually even take weeks. They can also survive nuclear blasts. Seriously, these things are God's mistake. Number 7 is bull sharks can adapt to fresh water. If you love to swim but are afraid of doing so in the ocean due to the risk of being attacked by sharks, then you may want to be restricting yourself to swimming in pools from now on exclusively. That's because bull sharks can actually adapt to survive in fresh water. Through osmoregulation, which is the ability to maintain an amount of water inside the body, these creatures aren't limited to the salt water of the sea. Bull sharks have even been found in the Amazon River, Lake Nicaragua, and the Mississippi River. And if that doesn't scare enough, they've even been spotted swimming around in Lake Michigan. The kidneys of the bull shark can, over time, even adapt to remove less saline from the water that the animals take in, meaning that they can live their entire lives in freshwater lakes and rivers. Oh, thinking of going for a swim with the fam? Go for it. Never know, you might just meet a nice little bull shark. Number 6 is recycled cooking oil. I feel like after a lot of these, y'all are just gonna stop eating entirely. In 2013, a video documentary was released that revealed the lengths that some restaurant owners in China were going to in order to be able to cook their food on a smaller budget. Disgustingly, these methods included acquiring gutter oil, which is just as gross as it sounds. Even though it's illegal, not to mention incredibly unsanitary, some restaurants prepare their dishes with a cooking oil made from rotten animal fat, slaughterhouse scraps, scraps or the recycled oil from other establishments. By the way, the latter of which is often literally collected from the sewer. The Chinese government has been trying to shut down this practice for several years, but it continues, with many restaurant owners going as far as to camp outside another restaurant waiting for them to dump their used up oil so that they can cook their food in it. But in case you're thinking, oh Matt, but this is exclusive to China, I live in the United States. Yeah, some restaurants in North America also do this practice, but they just haven't been caught yet. Enjoy your next restaurant outing. Number 5 is that there are ancient viruses trapped in ice. From the time we started developing inside our mothers, we've been developing antibodies, tiny proteins that protect us against viruses as well as other horrible things. However, what if there were old viruses waking up out there that we have absolutely no protection from, as nobody's been exposed to them for generations? Well, guess what? There are. In fact, there are viruses out there that have never even come into contact with human beings. With climate change helping to melt ancient ice, ancient viruses inside the ice are becoming exposed. Studies are already being conducted looking into what's going to happen when humans come into contact with them. It could mean everything from the next epidemic to, as unlikely as it seems, a global extinction. So the next time it's freezing out and you get a nice Arctic wind in the face, just be aware that you might be inhaling some num-num super Ebola virus. Number 4 are that some tumors grow teeth. Yep. Medical science is full of baffling phenomena, but few are as crazy as having teeth form anywhere outside of your mouth. Imagine being a surgeon and removing a tumor from a patient only to find it smiling up at you with a number of fully formed teeth. Yep, this scenario really happens. Teratomas are tumors that have developed inside the human body from the same types of cells that teeth are created from. But incredibly, teeth aren't the only things that can grow in a tumor, as they can contain hair, organs, or even brain matter as well. Oh, and if that isn't enough to unsettle you, consider this. Teratomas can grow tiny hands and feet. Plus, since 1850, there have been 70 documented cases of a tumor growing eyeballs. You could literally have part of a person growing inside you right now. Number 3 is gamma-ray death. Far out in the reaches of outer space, the chain reaction that ends your life may have already begun. That's right, sleep well tonight. Our precious ozone layer protects us from gamma rays, those super powerful cosmic electromagnetic waves that would destroy us in seconds without that protection. But when those gamma rays are extremely focused and happen to hit the planet, they have the potential to obliterate all life on it. A star-going supernova, even 1,000 light years away from us, could single-handedly erase humanity from existence. Basically, a gamma ray burst could be headed for Earth right now, and no matter what types of detection equipment or protection that we have, we wouldn't know of its existence until after we were dead. Mommy, look at that bright light! Number 2 are pet shelter numbers. Every year in the United States alone, over 7.6 million pets are brought into animal shelters, as either strays or by owners who can no longer support having them in their homes. Of those pets, around 3.4 million are cats and 3.9 million are dogs. Shockingly, over 1.4 million cats and over 1.2 million dogs are euthanized annually. That's more than 2.6 million animals losing their lives in pet shelters across just America alone. And only 10% of those pets received by these institutions are spayed or neutered, which results in the animal population growing out of control and thus the need for even more euthanizing. This one's obviously a little more serious, but really, the next time you're looking for a furry little companion, consider adopting from a shelter. And of course, as Bob Barker used to say, get your pets spayed and neutered. You know, because they're just constantly humping. We really need to stop that. And number 1 are more slaves today than ever before. Huh? What? Yeah. In 2012, the United States State Department estimated that there were 27 million people in slavery on our planet, not including bonded labor still today. And believe it or not, this is actually more than twice as many as those kidnapped and taken from West Africa during the transatlantic slave trade between the 16th and 18th centuries. There are literally more slaves today than ever before in human history. Some of those people are trapped, working off a large debt of some kind with an interest rate so high and being paid wages so low that it will never be feasibly paid off. Then there are others being forced into servitude against their will. They're exploited for labor, paid nothing, given only the bare essentials to survive, and their country's governments will do nothing to effectively free them. I mean, you probably didn't want to hear that fact, but it's important, so now you know.